Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Daily Dose, Halloween edition, candy edition. How are you this fine Saturday morning? Listen, it is truly important to know that the Halloween candy that's in your bowl matters. It really matters. And it's something, gosh, how nostalgic. Right now we don't think about it as much because our kids are older and really don't pay too much attention to Halloween. But if you got kids, Amy, that are a little younger, or maybe you got some grandchildren and Halloween is here, and maybe you're living in a neighborhood. We don't, fortunately, I would say fortunately and not so fortunately, we are in a neighborhood where we don't really our neighborhood gets a lot of trick-or-treaters. Our road doesn't really get a lot of trick-or-treaters. There's not too many people on our street. I don't know if it's just because there's lights. I guess maybe because we're not in the really wealthy homes that trick-or-treaters are going to for their little candy bars or the big ones. You remember as a kid growing up, you'd always go to the house. I remember. And then listen, if you catch this live, if you're on here live, I want to know if you're live, just hashtag live, or if you're catching on the replay. That way I can go back and check to see who watched and connect with you as well. But let's just get right down to it. So here's our bowl, and we've learned over the years a couple of things. Now, I don't particularly like Twix, which is a good thing. And here's our bowl. I know we've had different bowls over the years, and we don't get many trick-or-treaters, so we have just a little bit in here. Now, some of you, I don't even know what it's going to look like this year as far as trick-or-treating goes, if we were even allowed to. I don't even know. Fortunately, my kids, they're not necessarily looking forward to it. We haven't even really talked about it. They're 17 and 15. I don't even know if they're doing anything. But anyway, let's get to it. So why does the type of candy that you have in your Halloween bowl matter? That's the real question. And it matters for a couple things. But before I jump into that, I want to share with you just a side health fitness tip. Okay, of course, I'm the coach. I help people trying to stay on their diet, stay on track. And it does get tougher when you get older. But I would say is if you did do this, then you probably got in trouble. But for next Halloween, next year, don't buy your candy until, like my wife did. She literally just put this in the bowl last night. She literally put the candy in the bowl, just got it yesterday. So the day before Halloween is when you need to go buy your candy. Chances are it might be even cheaper. There might be deals, last minute, the little candy bars, the little mini candies that you hand out to the kids that come up to the door and they look so cute. But what happens, right? If you put candy in your bowl a week before or even a couple of weeks before because you saw the deal at maybe Walmart or Publix and you're like, oh, I got it. Then you put it in the bowl and guess what? Guess what happens to that bowl of candy before even Halloween starts? There's no candy for the kids because you dipped your hand in every time you went by that table. So that's for next year. Don't worry about it for this year. You already, if you've already bought some, if you already dipped in it, then, hey, you can just ask for forgiveness for next year. But no, those add up, right? It is Halloween, and these do add up, right? It's like, oh, no, they're small. I can have 5 or 6, and you might as well just go have yourself a full candy bar. Or for those cool houses that have, they have the extra money, they buy the full-size candy bars. Like, that's truly, right? You want to make your name known in the neighborhood, you have the full-size candy bars, not these little mini Twix like we have. You have the full-size Snickers, the full-size Twix bars, the full-size candy bars. You will wow the neighborhood. So why is it important? What matters? Not just for that, but let's just say also, now this is, I'm speaking to more my age demographics, ones that have kids that are older, probably don't do any trick-or-treating anymore. They maybe throw they have a bag. They may be still there where they're going around the neighborhood without a costume. Our kids did that when it wasn't really cool to wear costumes, and they still trick-or-treated on doors, a couple of years ago, and they came home with bags of candy. Is two things. If you still have candy, this is tips. These are tips. These are helpful tips so you don't go overboard in calories and in candy that really isn't if you're going to have it's kind of like the wine that gets better over time, like chocolate over time, the candy, this shouldn't get you. Like there's so much other better things to have if you're gonna have like a sweet treat than a candy bar. Oh, like, I don't know, it's something that over years, and trust me, I was the candy fiend. Believe it or not, I would eat so much candy, like, because we didn't have it in our house. It wasn't really allowed in our house growing up. I was the only organic family in the house. So of course I wanted all of the junk food and the candy, so I'd go over to my friend's house and eat all their candy who had it. But let's talk about a couple things, just some practical tips for candy. Is don't get the candy that you like. That's the other thing. So don't buy it beforehand. If you already did it, too late. You already probably ate a bunch of it. Maybe stressed out thinking of the election, next week, which we're all kind of on edge about, and then the candy's out. Next thing you know, you're eating that with a nice bottle of wine, and you're like, why did I do that? So don't buy early. Buy the stuff you don't like either. Just because you like it doesn't mean maybe the kids that are coming, they're gonna care. They don't care. I didn't care what kind of candy. Just give me some candy, right? So right here, just get the candy. I don't like Twix, so you can bring them in my bowl. I'm not really tempted on that. And the last kid, when you're about to turn off the lights, and unless you already ran out of candy, what times happens with us, we actually end up always having leftovers. So the last kid, before we close our lights off and go to bed and just say, hey, Halloween is over, we literally just dump the bowl, and the kid's like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. And the parents looking at us like they're angry because we just, they're like little 5-year-old is going to be up all night. Hey, you know what? Y'all got to go through the same thing that we went through. Our kids were up late at night when they were kids. It's a bit, it's thinking back to it now is like, oh, we're getting old, where they don't now dump out their candy on the table and trade. You remember that? My sister and I used to. It was a tradition, and we used to trade candy, and I know our kids used to do that. They'd dump it out on the table and count it up, and it was so fun. Like, how much did you get? I got more than you did. Oh, look at how many big candy bars you got. But give it away, give it away, give it away. Now, it's hard. You can't do that. Here's a little side tip for those parents that have kids that may be a little younger and are still trick-or-treating. And maybe you're even, I don't know if you're even letting them go out this year to trick-or-treat, or they're even allowed to go out and trick-or-treat depending on where you live. But if they get that bag of candy at home and they bring it home, now here's a tip. They will remember, they will get mad at you if you throw out their candy, because what happens, like if they're in school, the candy's home and it's around and it's in your face, and you're going to be like tempted to dip in it. And what happens with that is then, oh my gosh, there goes, that's the precursor to the holiday downward spiral before Thanksgiving. You're kind of like, you're already setting yourself up for disaster because you're dipping in that candy for the whole month of November until Thanksgiving. This is what you got to do. Wait like a couple days. If your kids are listening, don't, hopefully hide their ears, is wait a few days, start to take out candy. Unless they're really, really smart. If they're young, they won't know. Like, you just like start to remove it, start to give it away, package it up and give it, bring it to your office, give it to me. I know there's places you can donate it, that they ship it overseas and stuff like that. You can just donate it. But I would say, of course, it's more just the thrill of going trick-or-treating than all of the candy. Your kids are not going to need all that candy, please. And you're not going to need all that candy around. So you want to not sabotage and kind of get started off on the wrong foot with the holiday season. Make sure you send that candy out, like give it away, bring it to your friend's house or bring it over. But you don't want it sitting around, because it's going to get the best of you. It's going to say, come on, just one. It's okay to have just one. It's not going to hurt your diet. It's okay to have 2. Don't worry. 3 is not even a whole candy bar yet. You're okay. Oh, 4, no big deal. Nobody's going to see you eat those. You can hide them in your closet and snack on them, put them in a little secret place. Get rid of them altogether. So that's my little helpful tip. And trust me, I've been through it all. I've been tempted. I've had chocolate. I would say is get rid of that packaged junk. And then if your kids catch you in the act of throwing it out, say, don't worry. We'll get you we'll get you some real candy that's good. You don't want any of this kind. This is junk stuff. We'll get the good stuff. And then they'll just hopefully forget about it. So that's my daily dose today, Halloween edition. And it is a little bittersweet. We used to dress up, and I did post earlier. If you haven't checked it out, go. And I want you to see in circa 1982, where parents used to make costumes. They don't just buy them anymore, right? You just get them online, Amazon.com. My mom used to make all our costumes. I don't know about you. And we had some good ones, and we had some definitely not so good ones, but I look back at some of the pictures and I'm cracking up. That one I posted earlier was from 1982. Let me know what you think it is. I don't know if I've seen anybody come up with the right answer yet. I think somebody will, though. Somebody will remember, oh, yeah, I know what that is. And then they'll post it in there. So anyway, 9 o'clock. Okay, not too far away. And I actually may postpone it because I hadn't seen anybody that actually, it was a couple of people that may have interest. I'm going to stream live. I'm going to record it just for my purposes as well, but I wanted to provide Saturday training. I'm planning to do this through the holiday season. Each week, I'm going to have some different topics that I'm going to talk about, and I welcome you to come join us live at 9. I'm going to stream it live through Zoom, and it's going to come through. I have to look again just to make sure there wasn't last people who wanted to come in. I'm going to stream this week today at 9 o'clock in just a little while. I'm just getting final preparations for it, and we're going to talk about how to work out when you're injured. So the question comes up often to me, Mark, I have this injury, I have this back injury, I have this shoulder limitation, I have this arthritis, and they ask all the time, can I work out? And the short answer is yes. But to get into it, I want to, and I know as we all get older, one of the things, the excuses that come up, oh, Mark, I have an injury, I can't work out, I can't do this, I can't do that. Now, again, of course, number one, you got to listen to your doctor, but I'm going to share with you from my years of experience working with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who have injuries, who are able to still work out, still get in great shape, still get stronger, still get more defined, and still get in a healthier place with their body despite injury. So we're going to talk about that. Come join me live at 9 a.m. Other than that, make sure your candy bowl is empty. Get rid of the candy, remove it out of the house. Take care, God bless, and happy Halloween. We'll see you soon.